A third is the tendency to create more complex systems to deal with more complex goals. The strategies or theories that guide the system's efforts to achieve complex goals are less clear and certain. A trained village worker knows more about how to conduct an effective discussion than does a national health planner about how to achieve a better standard of health for a nation. Finally, more complex goals take longer to achieve. Thus, planners in complex systems tend to plan further and further into the future. The more we reach into the future, the less certain we can be. Correct? So think back to our example of vacation planning. You remember where we had taken a trip and planned the entire outing? Okay, so what would be the effect on your planning if you were responsible for all the vacations of the people in your organization? If, in addition, you had to plan them for 3 years, or if you had to plan all their recreation, including weekends and evenings, or if you were planning to develop a community of new vacation homes. Wow, right? Okay, now let's move on to the next conceptual framework. Okay, the next point would be environment. Okay, now the environment consists of those factors outside a given system in which the system seeks to adapt in order to achieve its goals and to survive. There are great many such factors, far too many to list completely, even if they were well known. Now, some key categories of factors can be identified, however. Okay, an obvious category is resources, correct? The type, quantity, and quality of resources that a system can draw on having a great deal to do with its goals, okay, with how it plans and with what it plans. Now, resources include not only money, but human resources. And what is important? Information. Correct? So, human resources include the planning skills available to the system. Information includes knowledge of the system, of the environment, of system effects, and of the theories that guide the creation of strategies. We can also think of needs as resources. Needs are reflections of problems to be solved or opportunities to be seized. To the extent that a system's goals correspond to the significant needs, there is a greater likelihood of getting resources. Like most things in the environment, needs change constantly, posing a continuing challenge to planners. Correct? So, other organizations or systems form an important part of the environment. So, as we noted earlier, correct, parts of the other systems may be included in the system of the planners depending on their system perspective, right? Our health campaign planners, for instance, may get the cooperation of the Ministry of Agriculture and find themselves planning special training for agricultural extension workers. So, when they are in training and when they are giving health information to villagers, agricultural workers are included in the health campaign system. Of great importance is the view that planners and others hold of what society should be and how it should operate now and in the future. We call this the social image held, and it encompasses values, ideology, and hopes for the future. The prevailing social image or images greatly affects both the goals that planners work towards and the way in which they plan. We will return to this idea in more detail later on. Okay, but for the moment, simply contrast the capitalist and communist views of the society. So clearly, planning is done differently and for different reasons in each type of society. Correct? So, values are closely related to social image and form yet another extremely important aspect of the environment. So, clearly, they affect the goals of the system as well as judgments about whether the system is successful. Okay, individual values are important when planners deal with people, and the values of planners themselves have impact on how they plan as well as what they plan. Values that help define social image are often expressed as national goals and political ideology, and these too have a significant impact on planning. Each of these factors can be more or less complex. Complexity leads to uncertainty, and the degree of uncertainty in resources, needs, other systems, social images, and values determines much of what planners do and how they do it. So, what is system and what is environment? The boundaries of a system and the importance of a system perspective in establishing these were discussed earlier. Correct? So, the environment for a given system may be another system, or, as is often the case, parts of many systems. Okay, so given this perspective, the environment of the village health worker includes the health campaign. It also includes other systems, for example, agricultural extension. Okay, the larger national health program is part of the environment of the campaign, and so on.